Welcome back. In the previous part, we went around and spoke to several gourmets. But it's time to carry on the rounds, because we haven't finished yet. Abby will finally be old enough to go to Sunday school starting next year. Hopefully his reading habits will translate to good studying habits too. I'm so proud of my boy and can't wait to see what kind of student he'll be. Well, as long as I've raised Abby to be cheerful and honest, that'll be enough to make me happy. I'm gonna be going to Sunday school just like Kia soon. I hope I see her there. I hope you do too. This grimoire appears to be a study of artifacts that was written in the Middle Ages. That's amazing. Have you been able to glean anything about its author? I have. There's no mistaking that this was written by one of the alchemists behind the construction of Stargazer's Tower. Unfortunately, there's nothing else that points to their full identity. Regardless, this is incredibly valuable data. True. Though it is unfortunate this was all that was left behind. There are still several mysteries surrounding the alchemists of the Middle Ages to this day. Researchers have yet to find any documentation that would point to their true identities. That's true too. The fact all of these books disappeared only serves to deepen the mystery. Looks like Uncle Miles and the others are researching the books we were able to recover. Yes, but it appears they haven't been able to learn anything new. The mystery around the alchemists of the Middle Ages only deepens, doesn't it? Yes, however, this grimoire does have very interesting information. I agree, I think there's room for more analysis, so I'm going to keep reading a little further. Oh, is it just going to be all three of them regardless? Yep. Very well then. Just wondering, like normally we get books here. I'll make Cooking Sweets edition. Oh! Light popcorn. It's usually here we get stuff, so it's sort of like best to check. Have I missed anything there? Like in past chapters or anything? The director said they're going to be investigating those books that were found in Stargazer's Tower. Those boys and their ancient texts. It's almost cute how giddy they are. The director said they're going to investigate those books that were found in Stargazer's Tower. There you go. Conceal's encore performance begins 3 days from now. Not only that, but I managed to get tickets for the opening night. I've never been so excited in my life. I must say, I was excited to hear about their new star performer that was announced. I'm impressed that Sully, a trade girl... Sully a trade? I don't remember her name being said like her last name being that. Is taken on such an important role at the young age of 13. Spoke to you already. Dun 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 dun. Wait, can we go to Orcus Tower? Ever since the Independence proposal, many have suggested holding study groups here. In response, the City and Crossbell News Service will be holding a public forum the day after tomorrow. We're currently putting the final touches on preparations. We hope that everyone will find it to be a beneficial event. We'll be holding a public forum the day after tomorrow to discuss state independence. Beneficial event. Dun 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 dun. I feel our workload has doubled ever since the building's transition to becoming the civic center. I have to prepare for the referendum as soon as the public forum ends. I'm going to be quite busy. I feel our workload has doubled ever since building to the civic center. Quite busy. Dun, ba-dun. Ba-dun. Supposing there are good things and bad things about Crossbell going indie something. I don't get what that means though. No matter how hard I think about it, can't decide if Crossbell should be independent or not. Fair enough. That terrorist attack on the conference was a heavy blow to the department's reputation. We've been getting people's trust back after the court incident, but now we're back to rock bottom. Standing here in front of the department, it's like everyone that walks by is giving me the stink eye. Then again, I don't think that's how they feel about the SSS. Really? I hadn't thought about it. Have things truly felt that bad, France? Starters, it's hard to ignore the snark people give us when we're on patrol lately. Usually they just call us incompetent. Anytime someone says something nice, they say it sarcastically. You know, like, now Calvard and Erebonia can keep taking advantage of us. Thanks a whole lot. Worst part is, I wish I could say they were wrong. It's pouring salt in the wound. It does sound harsh. Well, no matter how salty they are, all we can do is keep chugging along. There's no use in worrying about what you can't control. Focus on things you can. Do what we do. Block out the haters. We'll show them who's boss in the end. You make a good point. Thanks. I needed that. I'll take what you all said to heart. No use worrying about what we can't control. Or if it feels like we're making a difference or not. It's what we have to do. Indeed. Bum bum bum. Hey guys, heard you were saddled with fighting those cryptid things? I read that they're like the monster you encountered back in the deserted mine outside of Mines. Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what they are beyond that, though. I'm going to keep investigating until we find out. Han, is something bothering you? But it's just... I heard those cryptids are crazy strong. I don't want anything to happen to you guys. So that's it. I promise we won't bite off more than we can chew. You don't have to worry so much, friend. Yes, I know. You're the SSS. I know you guys can take care of yourselves. I'll keep cheering you on all the same. Once you come home, you'll have a patented friend-seeker smile on your terminal waiting for your report. Oh, hell yeah, I called dibs on making the next report to Fran. Please be careful investigating those cryptids, guys. You've got a patented friend-seeker smile waiting to take your reports when you get back. I heard your current mission has you working with the Bracer Guild. Who'd have thought at the beginning of the year that you'd reach the point where you can stand shoulder to shoulder with the Guild. The SSS never ceases to amaze. I agree with Fran that these cryptid monsters must be incredibly tough. Please be careful fighting them. I'll try. Do we have any fragments? I see you brought me a data fragment. I'll have to deliver it to our forensics team to have the cult terminal data analyzed. Is that alright with you? Of course, go right ahead. Very well. Please wait a moment. Page 2 of information terminal number 2 on Gnosis decrypted. If you find another data fragment, please bring it here. You can also speak to me if you would like to check back on any data that's already been decrypted. Right, thanks for your help, Rebecca. Obviously we'll check that in future again. Looks to me like you've been hard at work filling out your combat notebook. I'd like to record your information into our database. Mind if I see it for a minute? With pleasure. Thank you very much. Here's your notebook back. Let me gather your compensation. Please accept this. No. Don't forget to stop by once you've collected more monster data, okay? Thanks. We will. Of course. We'll see to it that we visit. Margaret. How could you do this to me? You never had eyes for other men before. What changed? To do something before I lose her for good, I must. It's Vice Commissioner Pierre. We're to see him on the first floor. Looks like something's troubling him. The SSS? How long have you all been standing there? How much did you hear? Nothing specific, but I think I got an idea or two. You said something about Margaret having eyes for other men. Could that be the name of your favorite hostess, Vice Commissioner? How dare you? You watch your mouth, Hemisphere. Margaret is the name of my missus. Missus? You mean your wife? Yes, you fool. I know I lost my wedding ring once, but ever since I was passed over for the role of commissioner, she's been nagging me like never before. Wait, what am I doing telling you all of this? That's right, the vice commissioner came off as pretty whipped when he lost his ring. It's been months, but it sounds like his latest predicament stems from that. Fine, I have no other choice. Beggars can't be choosers at times like these. Look alive, SSS. I'm giving you a top secret request. Straight from the Vice Commissioner. Top secret. What are you talking about? I'll be frank. Frank Pierre. I would like for you to investigate my wife. What? You want us to investigate your old lady? Would using your post to investigate personal matters not be against department policy? Let me worry about department policy. Time is of the essence here. Call it a formal support request or whatever it is you kids do if it makes you feel better. How does that sound? I guess we could? What should we do? Help the guy out, it's a quest. Okay, you clearly need a hand, so we'll hear you out. Can you start over from the beginning? You'll really help me. Good. I'll tell you everything you need to know, but not here. Follow me up to my office. We can discuss the details there. Your wife has been seeing a host? Oh my. That's right, look at the size of the weapons on the wall there. As I understand it, she's been going to several such clubs lately. However, there's one host in particular she's been meeting with in secret. Are you sure this man is a host? Right, shouldn't you be more trusting of your wife? I know that, but I decided to risk my life to find out for sure. Found the evidence in her purse. She had an appointment scheduled for today with a man named Clyde. How a man has a name like that? It's a stage name. He has to be a host. I will not call that irrefutable, but I cannot see he is wrong either. Dude is more desperate than I was expecting him to be. So you think she's seeing a host named Clyde? Sorry to tell you, but I've never heard of such a host. And believe me, I'd know. What? Seriously, Hussy? You meet people in the business. I generally know the names of all the other hosts that work at the clubs in the entertainment district. I can't rule out that he's a newbie that I've never heard of, though. Wait just a moment. How exactly would you be so knowledgeable about this hemisphere? Don't tell me that you, the newest member of the SSS, are a host? Why, yes. What? You're a member of the police force. Think what people would say if they found out what you were doing off duty. Please try to calm down, Vice Commissioner. What matters right now is that we try to find out the truth from your wife herself. That's right. And trust us. We've tried to lecture Wazzy about the same thing several times, but there's no getting through to him. I have no idea what you're talking about. Ugh. You said you looked in your wife's purse, right? Not that I'm condoning that, but was there anything else in there that could kickstart our investigation? Let me think. Now I remember. There was also a location written in her appointment book. She's been visiting the restaurant in Central Square in the afternoon very often. A restaurant in Central Square, Vincept. However, if this man truly is a host, would it not be strange for her to be meeting him in broad daylight? Not necessarily. A secret little rendezvous while the husband is at work. It's not as uncommon as you may think. Plenty of hosts have regular customers. They only meet during the day. Then I'm right, aren't I? Settle down. Please stop making this harder than it needs to be, Wazzy. Whoops. I think we understand the situation now. Would you mind stepping back and entrusting the investigation to us, Vice Commissioner? Fine, do whatever it is you need to do. Just get to the bottom of this. But discreetly. Am I clear? Understood. I'll get right to it. Man, can't believe we agreed to this. To be fair, Vice Commissioner did seem genuinely concerned about his wife. I think it's worth investigating until we see the truth of the matter for ourselves. If we have to. So, where should we begin? Let's try the restaurant in Central Square first. If his wife has been there with the supposed host often, we may be able to get information from the staff at least. That sounds like a good a place to start as any. Shall we be off? Why is he so into this? Vice Commissioner's plea. Look. You have a keen eye, Margaret. Forgive me if I'm being out of line, but you truly are wasted on your husband. You always have such a way with words, Clyde. That's the Vice Commissioner's wife and the man we were told about. So this is Clyde. He doesn't look like any host I've ever met before. Let's grab a nearby table and avoid doing anything to arouse their suspicion. We may be able to learn something. Understood. We should try splitting up and sitting at different tables then. Oh yes, I saw this pamphlet the other day. I fell in love immediately upon seeing those photos. Did you now? Perhaps we can go visit together then. If you'd like, I could even arrange a hotel for you. Actually, there's no need. I already went, I enjoyed the scenery, and had very little to complain about. That's wonderful. That certainly simplifies things. It's about that reservation. They do seem comfortable around each other. It sounds like they're planning a trip to Michelin together. Still, something seems off. The guy actually sounds like a bit of a kiss-ass. We don't have any decisive evidence yet. Let's keep listening in on their conversation. Well then, if you'll excuse me. Okay, I'll see you at the club later, correct? At Nuit Blanc in the entertainment district, I'll meet you there. I'll bring what you've been looking forward to, Mom. So it's in the entertainment district, we know that much then. I'll be waiting. I guess the date is over. What should we do, Lloyd? We have yet to gain anything concrete. Let's keep shadowing them. Randy, Rosie, and I will follow Clyde. Ellie, Tio, and Noelle, you three follow Margaret. Make sure you're not spotted. Understood. Let's blow this joint. Things are heating up nicely. Sorry to keep you waiting, Clyde. I brought what we discussed. Briefcase. Thank you very much. So, how did things go? Well, she's quite interested. We'll be closing later at Nuit Blanc. That's good to hear. Well, it's almost time for the next cruise ship to leave. I'll head back to Michelin and make sure everything is in order. It's all up to you now, Clyde. You close this contract, and you're going to be top agent this month for sure. I won't let you down, sir. Okay, let's do this. Clyde's looking pretty fired up, ain't he? And from the sound of it, he's going to be meeting the Vice Commissioner's wife at Nuit Blanc. What should we do now? We got what we needed, so we don't need to keep tailing him, do we? No, let's contact Ellie and the others. Should regroup at Police HQ for now. I think we have enough to pinpoint just who this Clyde person is. Afterward, Lloyd contacted Ellie and the others while they were tailing the Vice Commissioner's wife. They decided to meet at the police department and sort through the information for Vice Commissioner Pierre. Well, how did the investigation go? Has my wife been having an affair with a host? Please calm down, Vice Commissioner. Before that, how did following Miss Margaret go, Ellie? Well, we watched her as closely as we could, but we didn't notice anything strange. She eventually went back home to the residential district. And she didn't meet anyone else on the way there. However, she does plan to meet this Clyde person at Nuit Blanc later. What? What does he think he's doing taking my wife to a place like that? So be it. I'll put together an entire SWAT team and storm Nieuwe Blanc. I told you to calm down, Vice Commissioner. Last thing you want to do is send armed officers there. You know, considering who owns the place. Well then, what am I supposed to do? Every second we waste here, that host gets closer to sinking his libidinous fangs into my Margaret. I don't think you have to worry about that. At least not as far as this host is concerned. What do you mean? Wazzy was right all along. You don't think this Clyde person is a host at all? Pardon me? Isn't a host, then who is he? He's either a con artist or a salesman. But I don't think because he's trying to make a sale, isn't he? So let me double check. Yeah, salesman. What we could tell, Clyde is most likely a salesman. A salesman? Going by his speech pattern, yeah. That sounded like he was out to sell something, but it wasn't his body or time. It's not all, though. There's more that suggests he's not a host. Gentlemen such as myself work to give lonely mademoiselles a reprieve from their mundane lives for a short time. A top-class host politely escorts his lady, but he would never be more humble than necessary. We're not there to grovel. I wouldn't put it quite the way Wazzy did, but my conclusion is more or less the same. From what I could tell, Clyde and your wife didn't look like people that were having an affair at all. If pushed, I would say they came off more as buyer and seller. That's the impression I got anyway. Given that they met several times now, I would guess they've been negotiating a business deal of some kind. Even if all this is true, what in the world is he coercing my wife to buy? Well, if we're continuing with the theory that he's a salesman, I think we can figure that out too. Clyde was most likely trying to sell stocks and bonds? Real estate, apparently. Real estate. So he's a real estate agent. Now you mention it, Michelin came up during the conversation at Vincept. Oh yeah. First I thought it was about a vacation, but that pamphlet stuck out to me. It may have been a pamphlet about top-scale properties for sale in Michelin. Okay, alright, okay. And after we tailed him to the harbour district, Clyde received something from a man in a suit. That's right, I got the sense from their relationship that it was his boss. He may have been delivering him something like a contract to be signed. We piece all this together. Clyde is a real estate agent who's been in negotiations with your wife to sell a property. Miss Margaret has been receptive and even went to Michelin to scope the property out because negotiations had been going well. Oh yeah, I remember seeing her there now. If all this is the case, it would explain why she's been meeting with this man so often. Yeah, it's all starting to fit into place. And today they entered final negotiations. I completely forgot about that because of everything else that was happening. The contract is likely going to be signed today at Nieuwe Blanc. Yes, it's starting to make sense. Wait just a second. I mean, Margaret is trying to buy property in Michelin without even consulting me, wouldn't it? I'm not made of money. How much do you think a vice commissioner makes? Where does she expect to get that kind of mirror? Could she have taken out a loan? That is a possibility. He may have even convinced her to take out a large one. You've got to be kidding me. I know what I have to do. I'm going to storm into Nieuwe Blanc myself. I'm not going to let this shark swindle my wife right underneath my nose. I'll give this Clyde fellow a piece of my mind and drag Margaret out of there if it's the last thing I do. He seems to have broken his leash. It's like we accidentally flipped some kind of switch inside him. I'll tell you what, we're all here already, so why don't we go there to lend you a hand? It wouldn't be wise to charge into Nieuwe Blanc all by your lonesome, would it? Can't argue with that, but is it really why you want to go? Wazzy, you have a real penchant for causing drama, you know. I haven't the slightest clue what you mean. Regardless, if we don't go to hold him back, then who will? Yeah, we don't got much choice. Think I can get us into Nieuwe Blanc at least. My old pal Zax is probably bouncing at the door right about now. What the devils are you all mumbling about over there? I'm headed for Nuit Blanc. You're coming with me, that's final. Yes, sir. And that's what's up. Think you can let us in, Zax? And keep it a secret from Shirley and Uncle Sigmund, obviously. Right, I was thinking it had been a while since you last showed up. Here you are running errands. You've lost your touch just like the young miss said, huh, Captain Randolph? Stop calling me that. I think this is the same Jaeger we saw in front of Crimson & Co. before. Gulp. I'll help you out just this once. Think of it as a little favour. Don't cause any problems inside, got it? I won't say a peep to the young miss or the vice leader either. That good? Yeah. We're good to go. Looks like they haven't arrived yet, so better get inside if we're gonna ambush them. I think I'll sit this one out, though. That's fine. We should keep a low profile anyway. I'm going in one way or another. You'll decide among yourselves who else will be joining me. What's gone into him? We should see this through to the end, now that we have come this far. Been looking forward to this since we took his request. Vice Commissioner, Lloyd and myself should be plenty fine, yes? Yeah, that should work. The rest of us will remain on standby. You can contact us with your enigma if you need backup. Got it. Okay, you two, let's head inside. That's right, let's go. Your wife and that man entered the club. They requested they be seated at the table right here. Okay, that'll do. If he's some corrupt real estate agent, I'll see to his arrest myself. This is getting interesting. Oh, there they are. Excuse me. I have a reservation for 2 under Clyde. Right this way, sir. This is one fancy club. Is this your first time coming here, Margaret? I would think you've seen everything Crossbell has to offer with your husband being so high up in the police. Oh please, that's a riot. He may be the Vice Commissioner, but his salary is peanuts. He'd much rather drink the night away with a hostess in a dingy bar than take me out to a nice restaurant. My apologies then. It may only be noon, but allow me to kickstart the proceedings by buying you a drink. I'd be happy to accept. So don't worry, Vice Commissioner. Quiet you. I don't need you telling me what to do. Sort of if this club is beyond my salary. Dingy bar does suit me better. What's wrong with that? Nothing besides your overwhelming inferiority complex. Bringing you with us was a mistake. Shall we get down to business, then? To defeat... Clyde retrieved what appeared to be a contract from his briefcase. As you requested, a contract for the villa in Michelin's residential area. Sign your name on the dotted line and it's yours. I've been waiting for this moment. I'd love to sign. You're right, it's a contract for a property in Michelin. What's the plan? We still haven't learned whether or not this deal is on the up and up. Stay. Stay away from my wife! What? Pierre? Oh no. This will go well. What are you doing here? Cancel this deal at once, Margaret. This corrupt realtor is tricking you. I beg your pardon? Hold on just a moment. Corrupt? I haven't done anything wrong. Funny joke, comedy man. You can't fool me. Yeah. You're whining and dining my wife, buttering her up into taking some kind of ridiculous loan out on this property, aren't you? Yeah. It'll be a cold day in Gehenna before you force that on us. Yeah. Stay silent, woman. As the CPD's Vice Commissioner, I... and such. I'm sorry, Schnookums. That was the quickest surrender I've ever seen. Do you hear that whip crack? You go, Margaret. Goddess, how do I put up with you? You're supposed to be a vice commissioner. How could you so blindly jump to the wrong conclusion and treat him like a criminal? Have you no shame? I'm sorry, please forgive me. Hold on. This is all a misunderstanding. Wait, it is? Now I'm hooked. Go on, Margaret. Spill the tea and don't spare any details. Very well. First, Clyde here is a respectable realtor who deals with luxury properties. Your assessment was wrong to begin with. He's not corrupt at all. But if that's true, then we definitely can't afford a property like that. About that, I actually made an enormous profit from stocks I was trading recently. It was several times your salary. Stocks? To be honest, my patience has reached its limit. You earned your position solely through connections and luck. You're a pitiful man who does nothing at home. It's because you don't want to be at home with me. But your late-night drinking binges are straining our finances. Oh. You were in a much better mood when you thought you'd become the next commissioner after the old one was dismissed. And then the other vice commissioner was chosen over you. Your depression has made you moan and complain incessantly ever since. Isn't that a little harsh, Mom? Honestly, don't think I can live with you anymore. This is why I've discussed using my earnings to purchase a home to live separately. The plan was to separate from you before eventually filing for a divorce. Oh. There it is. Now it's getting good. Were you born without the ability to feel compassion? Wait, did you just say was? I did. You organized all of this because you were afraid of losing me, didn't you? You had been so afraid of me that you had been avoiding coming home. I'm impressed that you went through with all of this. So tonight I want you to come home so that we can sit down and talk through this together. Margaret. There you have it, Clyde. I'll have to put this purchase on hold. This can't be, Margaret. We were so close. It's not like I've cancelled the deal entirely. What's wrong with me to negotiate alone? I look forward to discussing this again in the future. We may not be separating, but I'm still interested in your property. I'm sure I'll purchase it eventually. I would have liked to close the deal today, but I can't force you to sign a contract. I'll excuse myself then. Turns out Clyde wasn't guilty of anything in the end. Feel bad for turning and suspecting him. Who cares about his feelings? We've solved the case between the Vice Commissioner and his wife. That's what counts. I should be going too, Pierre. I will see you tonight. We have plenty to discuss, so come straight home after work. Understood? Yes, Schnookums. And so he dons the leash yet again. Excellent work today, SSS. I'm glad that everything worked out in the end. It's a relief to see your wife wasn't being conned. So you say, but I'm going to be paying for a second mortgage after all. Thank the goddess we're not getting a divorce. Suppose we can use the new place on the weekends. Margaret seemed taken by it at least. Yeah, man, sometimes you gotta give in and let the lady have what she wants. Besides, the funds came from her stock market earnings. Just a whole different kind of worms. How could I ever have... this has all been a reminder of just how much more capable she is than me. You reap what you sow. Be that as it may, because I'm still a married man at the end of the day, I should be grateful. You have my thanks, SSS. Anytime, Vice Commissioner. You can always count on us. We'll show ourselves out now. There we go. Right, so we'll end this part here and carry on the round to the next part. Ta-da for now!